When a tall, sharp-suited man stepped onto the plane, few noticed the quiet authority he carried. But when he presented his first-class ticket, the flight attendant looked him up and down and smirked. "This section's reserved for VIPs," she sneered. He remained calm. "Please check my ticket again." But her laughter echoed louder than reason. Moments later, he was escorted to the economy like a criminal. What no one realized was that he was no ordinary passenger. He was a royal guard, personally appointed by a global monarch. And when he made one call, everything changed. Nathaniel Carter wasn't one for attention. His black tailored suit, golden, cufflinks and polished shoes suggested class, but not arrogance. His eyes scanned everything with military precision. A royal guard for one of the world's most discreet monarchs, Nathaniel was trained in diplomacy, silence, and strength on date. This trip he wasn't escorting royalty. He was on personal leave, traveling for his mother's surgery in another country. His ticket? Paid in full. First class, of course. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. At the airport, everything went smoothly. But as he reached the boarding gate and handed over his pass, the gate agent barely looked at it before raising an eyebrow. "Are you sure this is your ticket?" Inside the aircraft, the situation worsened. A white flight attendant glanced at his dark skin, ignored his rank, and declared, "This section's for real VIPs." Despite showing his ticket twice, Nathaniel was humiliated in front of other passengers and sent to the back of the plane. But there was something they didn't know. He wasn't just any man, they had messed with royal protocol. Sitting in the economy, Nathaniel took a deep breath. Anger flickered beneath his composed exterior, but years of elite service kept his emotions in check. He pulled out his phone, opened a secure line, and calmly spoke. "This is Guard 717. Unauthorized denial of royal protocol on Flight 604, requesting executive action." What followed was swift and terrifying. 30 minutes into the flight, the captain received an urgent message. The royal embassy had contacted the airline's headquarters, and the monarch's crest appeared on multiple legal faxes. A violation of diplomatic respect had occurred on board their plane. The captain tried to reason with the crew. "Do you know who he is?" he whispered to the chief attendant. Blank stares. They didn't. The man they'd mocked was assigned to protect royalty across 3 continents. His position demanded international diplomatic respect, and denying him was like slapping an entire kingdom. Meanwhile, Nathaniel remained seated, calm, watching, waiting. But by now, the plane's atmosphere had shifted. The crew scrambled. Panic set in. The first-class cabin was no longer a sanctuary. It was ground zero for disaster. Suddenly, an announcement came through the speakers. "This aircraft will be making an emergency landing due to administrative protocol." "Violations!" Passengers gasped. Whispers turned into loud conversations. The flight attendants were called into the cockpit one by one. Faces turned pale. The same attendant who had mocked Nathaniel now stood at his seat, trembling. I didn't know," she whispered. Nathaniel didn't answer. Instead, when the plane landed, a fleet of black vehicles met it on the tarmac. Out stepped embassy officials, legal representatives, and reporters. The airline's CEO was there too, looking utterly destroyed. Because the flight was airborne in a few hours, the story went viral. A royal guard was disrespected, a monarch was humiliated, and stock prices crashed. By dawn, the airline had suspended the flight crew, issued public statements, and fired the captain. Within days, a $500 million partnership with international carriers was canceled. But Nathaniel? He said nothing. He quietly exited the airport with his mother, who smiled and whispered, "You didn't even raise your voice." He smiled back. Power doesn't always need to. That day, the world learned a lesson. True strength often speaks in silence, and respect should never be determined by appearance. The Royal Guard didn't need medals or spotlights. Just one call and justice moved mountains. If you enjoyed this story and found it thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done? In this situation, your support helps bring more eye-opening stories to life.